What's up guys, and Fernape here. Instead of bringing you another best team, I thought I'd bring you another top 10. I'm going to go over 10 ridiculously overpowered characters from TV series and movies. So this should be a very fun topic. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up and let me know down in the comments below what you think is the most overpowered character of all time. So without further ado, let's get into the video. At number 10, we have Kirito from Sword Art Online. I will admit that Kirito is a very powerful character. He is just really a good swordsman. Like, he is the only one in SAO other than the bad guy to actually have this skill called dual wielding, which is quite a decent accomplishment if you ask me. Kirito's real name is actually Kazuto Kirigaya, and he was a bit depressed because he felt he was alone because his family gave him up and he was living with his aunt. And then he turned to virtual reality to get away from it all, and then he actually became a beta tester for this game called Sword Art Online. And at first it was actually, it looked pretty good, but then on the day of release, it actually went haywire, and then everybody got trapped in the game for 2 years. But during those 2 years, Kirito managed to become the most powerful character in SAO. If I had to pick one downside, it's that Kirito is only good when he's in his SAO world, and when he's in the real world, he's just an average Joe. So that's why I put Kirito at number 10. At number 9, we have Hendrickson from 7 Deadly Sins. Now, at first glance, Hendrickson does seem like fairly powerful. Like, he was actually one of the co-Grand Masters in Britannia. The other one was a bit... Yeah, but Hendrickson also went a bit... and he is fairly powerful, if you ask me. But I'm not talking about when Hendrickson is in his human form, because he's only a mere human. I'm talking about when he infused himself with demon blood and looked like this. At first, he infused himself with red demon blood to make him a match for Meliodas. But later on in the line, he infused himself with a grey demon and his blood. And he became overpowered as hell. Like, he nearly wiped out all of the Holy Knights, the 7 Deadly Sins, and just wiped out everything in sight. Only to release the demon race. So, that is why I decided to put Hendrickson on this list. At number 8, we have Vilgax from Ben 10. Now, this is when cartoons were actually good. Like, Vilgax is a very powerful character in Ben 10. Like, he's the epitome of someone that refuses to die. Now, at first, Max Tennyson glued Vilgax to a rocket, which eventually exploded, and then we thought he was dead. But then, years later, we find that he's after the Omnitrix, and is even more powerful. And then his spaceship blew up, and he was badly injured and on the verge of dying. Unfortunately, the blast did take his toll, and his original body was gone. However, they made him ridiculously overpowered after they did some experiments and regenerated him and brought him back. Then later, it was Ben's turn to get rid of Vilgax, or so he thought, by turning into an alien called Waybig and throw him into space. But then later on, Vilgax wanted revenge. So, he decided to become the conqueror of 10 worlds, and then absorbing the power of the most powerful heroes on those planets. And if that wasn't enough, he then gained the power from this ancient demon called the Dagon. And then eventually, it fused himself with the Dagon, and then became the Dagon. So, with all of that keep in mind, that he keeps coming back to life, gaining more power, and became the conqueror of 10 worlds, and being able to withstand all of that power, I had to put Vilgax on this list. At number 7, we have the Wolverine from X-Men. The origin of Wolverine of gaining his power was when he wanted revenge on his brother, so that he could avenge his girlfriend. He infused himself with a rare metal called adamantium, which is apparently one of the hardest metals on Earth. And once he was infused with it, he became immortal. And once all of that was said and done, he became one of the most powerful characters in the MCU. Like, he's taken down so many powerful characters, it's unbelievable. Like, he's taken down Sabretooth, Magneto, that Silver Samurai guy. There's just so many, it's hard to keep track. So with all of that in mind, I had to put Wolverine on this list. At number 6, we have Thanos. Now keep in mind that this is without the Gauntlet and without the Stones, because with the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones, even the weakest of characters can become OP as hell. Now Thanos is definitely the most powerful character we've seen so far in the MCU. Like, it's just amazingly powerful. Like, he was originally on this planet called Titan, I think it was. But then his supplies became limited, and then the planet just went extinct, and all of his comrades went. So after that, he wanted to solve the problem and make sure it doesn't happen to other races. So instead of doing it through good meanings, he decided to create an Infinity Gauntlet, and search for all 6 Infinity Stones, snap his fingers, and wipe out half of the universe. Not only were his goals a bit inferior, he also managed to turn Hulk into a major crybaby just with a few punches. So considering all of that, Thanos is definitely an overpowered character, and that's why I had to put him in this list. At number 5, we have Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds. Now, if you're wondering why I put another Marvel villain on this list, I said that Thanos was the most powerful character in the MCU. So that would be like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and that sort of thing. Galactus was introduced in Fantastic Four, I think it was, and he definitely made quite an impact. Now, Galactus is called the Devourer of Worlds for, well, what it means. He has to literally feed on planets in order to survive. And that's just weird. Like, and also, he has amazing power. If you don't believe me, check out some of the Fantastic Four comics. The only way I've actually seen Galactus being stopped is when the Silver Surfer confronted him and blows himself up just to kill Galactus and himself. So considering that it takes a detonation as powerful as that just to kill Galactus, I had to put it on this list. At number 4, we have Ben Tennyson. Before you click away, hear me out. Ben Tennyson is definitely a very powerful character, just with that Omnitrix. It's got to be one of his most powerful weapons. With it, he can turn into almost like 78 aliens. That's pretty good if you ask me. But Ben 10's power mainly comes from one alien, and that is Alien X. If you don't know what Alien X is, it's an alien that can literally do anything. Literally, if you name anything, an Alien X can do it. However, it has to, basically, Alien X comes with 3 members. 2 of them have to agree. If 2 of them disagree, then the voting is out, and then an Alien X just becomes like a statue. So, considering that Ben 10 has many aliens, and one alien that's practically God, I had to put it on the list. Now for the moment everyone's been waiting for, the top 3. And spoiler alert, Goku isn't anywhere here. I'm sorry. At number 3, we have Saitama, also known as One Punch Man. Now, Saitama has got to be overpowered as hell. Literally, I'm pretty sure even like some of the strongest characters you can name cannot even stand a chance against a One Punch Man. Quite frankly, I think even the most powerful Mega Evolutions in the world doesn't even stand against One Punch Man. To keep his physique, he has to do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. Every single day. And he doesn't even miss out a day of training. That's how he keeps his physique up. And because of that training, he can knock out anything in just one punch. And he hasn't even brought out his true power. So considering that Saitama can knock out anything in one hit, has a great training record, and can knock even, well, demons, gods, and anything with one punch, I had to put Saitama on this list. But the other 2 members could probably end Saitama. At number 2, we have Meliodas from 7 Deadly Sins. Now, Meliodas was actually the spawn of the Demon King, and then became the leader of the 10 Commandments. And he became overpowered and feared throughout all the races in 7 Deadly Sins. However, he learned the error of his ways, and then killed a couple of the 10 Commandments and turned to the good side. Later on, he sealed all the demon races in the Coffin of Eternal Darkness, and then became the leader of the 7 Deadly Sins that were planning to end the demon race. Not only that, Meliodas is actually the 2nd strongest member of the 7 Deadly Sins, even though he's the captain of the 7 Deadly Sins. Like, if no one's actually been able to beat Meliodas in a sword fight. Literally, it's been said by this guy called Old Man Kane, no one who's ever crossed swords with him has lived to tell the tale. And he's also managed to kill quite a few 10 Commandments, I believe, like, 3? But considering that he was the spawn of the Demon King, the captain of the 7 Deadly Sins, and he is basically the epitome of overpowered, I had to put him on this list. However, number 1 could probably easily defeat Meliodas and anybody that you can name. And finally, at number 1, we have Escanor from 7 Deadly Sins. I'm telling you, I am convinced that Escanor could easily defeat Goku, Meliodas, Superman, Saitama, everybody on this list. In fact, I'm pretty sure he could even defeat all of the Avengers. That's a pretty tall order, but I'm pretty sure Escanor could do it. As long as the sun is up. If you didn't already know, Escanor has a curse on him, which means every time the sun comes up, he becomes the most powerful being of all time. But when the sun goes down, he becomes one of the weakest characters of all time. In fact, I'm pretty sure a wishy-washy solo form could even take out Escanor in his weaker form. But if the sun is up and he has his sacred treasure, the divine axe Rita, he can kill probably anything that you can name. Like, he could probably even crush Arceus, Rayquaza, Primal Groudon, and Primal Kyogre together. In fact, I'm pretty sure that 10 million Arceus doesn't even stand a chance against Escanor with his Divine Axe Rita. Like, his powerful move, Cruel Sun, could easily wipe out the demon race with very little effort. Like, he's even taken down a couple of the 10 Commandments that the 7 Deadly Sins have struggled against, even Meliodas himself. So considering all of that, I had to put Escanor at number 1. And there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did, and let me know what you think is the most powerful character of all time. If you enjoyed the video as much as I did, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up, comment down below, share this video with a friend, and if you're new, subscribe to my channel to be an Inferno today. Okay, that's all from me, so until the next time, this is Infernape, signing off. Bye!